Picture this. You're in a rush, coffee in hand, and someone bumps into you. The coffee spills. How do you react? It's a scenario we've all faced at one point or another. These moments of everyday frustration are ripe for sparking a flash of anger. But why is that our knee-jerk response? Have you ever wondered why anger is your go-to reaction? You see, when things don't go as planned, our expectations are shattered in an instant, like that cup of coffee splattering across the sidewalk. This disruption sends a quick signal to our brain that something is wrong, and anger often becomes the bodyguard to our bruised emotions. But here's the twist. That immediate rush of frustration isn't the only way to respond. What if, instead of letting anger take the wheel, we could pause, take a breath, and choose a different path? A path that leads not to more stress and shouting, but to understanding and calm. Understanding our reactions can be the first step towards managing them. So why do we get angry? Is it just a spontaneous burst of emotion? Let's delve deeper into the science and psychology behind our fiery feelings. Anger, at its core, is not just an emotional outburst, but a survival tactic. It's a response to perceived threats, activating the body's fight or flight response. This primal instinct can be traced back to our ancestors, who relied on anger for protection against predators and other dangers. When we perceive a threat, whether it's a physical danger or a psychological one, like an insult, our body's sympathetic nervous system kicks into gear. This system floods our body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, preparing us for action. Our heart rate accelerates, our blood pressure rises, and blood flows to muscles, priming us to either face the threat head-on or make a swift escape. From a psychological perspective, anger often stems from feelings of loss, injustice, or frustration. When our expectations aren't met or our goals are blocked, it can trigger an angry reaction. It's our mind's way of signaling that something is wrong, something needs attention, or a boundary has been crossed. Experts in the field, like psychologists and neuroscientists, have shown through various studies how anger can literally change the brain's structure and function. Regular bouts of anger can strengthen neural pathways that make anger responses more habitual, essentially training the brain to be angry. This biological basis for anger highlights its complexity beyond just a simple emotional reaction. Furthermore, the impact of anger isn't confined to our minds. It affects our entire body. Chronic anger has been linked to numerous health issues, including heart disease, weakened immune system, and higher susceptibility to mental health disorders like depression and anxiety. In essence, while anger can be a protective and necessary response to threats, it's far more than just an emotional outburst. It involves a sophisticated interaction between our brain, body, and external circumstances. Turns out, anger isn't just an emotional response, but a complex interplay of our internal and external worlds. Now, let's dive into how anger can actually cost us more than just our peace of mind. Anger is more than a fleeting emotion. It's a state that can cascade through our lives, impacting more than just the moment of its occurrence. When we allow anger to simmer within us, it begins to erode our mental health, nurturing seeds of anxiety and depression. Think about it. When anger takes the driver's seat, stress becomes a constant passenger. This stress doesn't just cloud our thoughts, it can darken our perspective on life, making everything seem more daunting and less manageable. But the cost of anger isn't limited to our mental well-being. Physically, the impact is just as profound. Have you ever noticed how your heart races when you're angry? That's your blood pressure spiking. Over time, these spikes can take a toll, leading to long-term health issues such as hypertension. Research has shown that individuals who experience anger regularly are at a significantly higher risk of developing heart disease. Indeed, the American Heart Association has discussed studies suggesting that high levels of anger are linked to a greater risk of heart attacks and stroke. Furthermore, anger doesn't just attack the heart, it weakens our immune system too. When we're constantly in a state of conflict or irritation, our body's defense mechanisms are less efficient, making us more susceptible to infections and illnesses. This isn't just theoretical. Numerous studies have confirmed that prolonged emotional stress, including anger, impairs the immune response. The emotional and physical tolls are clear, but let's not overlook the social cost. Anger can alienate us from others, damage relationships, and close doors on opportunities in both personal and professional realms. It can turn a leader into a tyrant, a friend into an adversary. Clearly, the price of persistent anger is too high for both our minds and bodies. It's not just about losing our temper, It's about losing our health, our relationships, and potentially our futures. Let's remember, managing anger is not just about avoiding outbursts. It's about fostering a healthier, more fulfilling life. How can we replace anger with something much more powerful? That's a question that invites us to delve into the realms of patience and acceptance. These aren't just passive states of being, they are active, dynamic tools that can transform our lives. Let's start with patience. Patience isn't about waiting idly for things to happen. It's about maintaining a calm spirit and a clear mind, even when circumstances try to push us off balance. Imagine you're in a traffic jam, late for an important meeting. Instead of letting frustration take over, patience allows you to acknowledge the situation without letting it dictate your emotional state. It's about saying, "This is where I am right now, and I can handle it calmly." Now, acceptance goes hand in hand with patience. It involves recognizing things as they are, not as we wish them to be. This doesn't mean giving up or agreeing with everything. It's about understanding that some aspects of our lives and the world around us are beyond our control. When we stop fighting reality, we start to experience a profound peace. For instance, if a sudden rain ruins your weekend plans, acceptance lets you shift gears, perhaps to enjoy a cozy day indoors with a good book. It's about finding serenity within the storm. To cultivate these qualities, start small. Practice mindfulness to stay present in the moment. This could be as simple as focusing on your breathing when you feel impatience creeping up. Reflect on situations that typically trigger your anger and approach them with a mindset of learning and growth. Ask yourself, what can this teach me? Additionally, set realistic expectations for yourself and others. Life is unpredictable and people are imperfect. Embracing this fact reduces disappointments and fosters a more accepting attitude. Lastly, remember that building patience and acceptance is a journey, not a sprint. Celebrate small victories along the way because each step forward is a step away from the grip of anger. Patience isn't just a virtue, it's a shield against the storms of anger. Alright, we know why to avoid anger and what we can cultivate instead, but how do we practically keep our cool? When the heat of the moment rises, it's crucial to have strategies at hand to bring us back to a state of calm. One effective method is deep breathing exercises. Try this. Breathe in slowly through your nose, counting to 4. Hold that breath for a count of 4, then gently exhale through your mouth for another 4. This simple technique can slow down a racing heart and bring clarity to a clouded mind. Next on the list is mindfulness meditation. This isn't about becoming a Zen master overnight. It's about giving yourself a moment to be present with your thoughts without judgment. Start by focusing on your breath, or if you prefer, guide your attention to the sensations in your body. Even 5 minutes of this practice daily can significantly reduce stress levels and increase your tolerance threshold. Another powerful tool is keeping a gratitude journal. It might sound trivial, but writing down 3 things you are grateful for each day can shift your focus from frustration to appreciation. This shift in perspective is not just about feeling better in the moment, it's about rewiring your brain to naturally react more positively when challenges arise. Self-awareness plays a pivotal role in managing anger. Often, anger is a secondary emotion, masking feelings like fear, embarrassment, or hurt. By becoming more aware of these underlying emotions, you can address the root cause of your anger rather than just the symptoms. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of a good timeout. Stepping away from a heated situation can give you the space you need to compose yourself. Whether it's stepping outside for a breath of fresh air or simply moving to another room, changing your environment can help reset your emotional state. With these tools, turning every problem into a chance to succeed becomes not just possible, but probable. Imagine leading a life where anger is an occasional visitor, not a permanent resident. Throughout our journey today, we've explored the intricate dance of understanding anger, felt its impacts, and discovered the transformative power of patience and acceptance. We delved into the nature of anger, recognizing it not as our foe, but as a signal, urging us to look deeper within ourselves and our situations. We've seen how anger can cost us not just peace of mind, but relationships and opportunities, and how by embracing patience, we open doors to a more content and fulfilling life. The techniques we've shared, breathing deeply, stepping back to assess situations objectively, and speaking in a calm, collected voice, are more than just quick fixes. They are the stepping stones to building a resilient, serene mindset. As we wrap up, remember, practicing these methods regularly is key. They're not just actions, but investments in your well-being. Cultivate a lifestyle where patience and wisdom lead the way to a healthier, happier you.